What's up, everybody? It's Kyle with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. If this is your first time to the show, I focus on mindset, fitness, attitude, spiritual component of being a better person. Episode 315. And keeping my eye on the clock. Susie Homemaker is not pleased with me that I haven't packed yet for our trip. That's today. But I'll get it done. I have everything planned. This scheduled. Everything is scheduled out. I'll go for my workout. Got my list to pack right here. So all good. But it is our first time going to Europe. We're going to Italy. I wanted to make sure I recorded this before I left. So I'm going to run through five tips. 5 tips that I use on a pretty much daily basis, if not at least a few times a week, that can really help you alter your mindset. The mind is a funny thing. What you focus on expands. So most people don't think they have any control over what goes on up here. And that's a problem. Because your thoughts leads to your words. Your words then lead to your actions. That's the process of creation. Your thoughts will determine how you feel. They lead to your emotions. What happens is a lot of people will then let those emotions boomerang back and drive their thoughts. If you're feeling down in the dumps, now you're going to start thinking about this and this and this. First thing I want you to remember with mind mapping is emotion and logic don't mix. Emotion and logic don't mix. So if you're emotional, whatever thoughts you have are not going to make sense. Throw them out the window. It's okay to feel what you feel, but those thoughts aren't going to make sense. Get rid of them. So that is a foundational thing I want you to keep in mind as we go through this. So the number one skill I always tell people with mindset is the ability to reframe. We've had it many times. I should say, within the past week, 2 weeks, situation pops up. Boom. You can feel that initial punch to the face where, man, it stuns you. And then immediately I go right to reframing. What's great about this? What can I learn from this? How will this make me grow? But what's great about this? Your brain is always going to answer a question that you ask of it. Your brain doesn't like open loops. It's the open loop theory. If you ask it a question, it has to answer it. Your brain cannot ignore a question, which is an amazing thing when you think of that concept. Your brain cannot ignore a question. Now that you have that in your head, you can start messing with people with just asking them questions. But kidding aside, that is a very powerful thing. What's great about this problem? Which will kind of lead into one of the other things I have on here. Because you can ask yourself that, either think about it, talk about it, but journaling. Journaling is huge. Here's my journal right here. So this is my journal. Obviously this one goes back, a few years. It's a big one, and a lot of cursive handwriting and whatnot. But super, super important to keep a journal. When you write, you bring your logical part of your brain back online. You dampen the emotional bit. You slow the process down. Sometimes when we get emotional, our thoughts speed up, our thoughts ramp up, and we have the snowball effect. When you journal, you got to slow down. You have to bring logic. And that's another reason I like writing cursive. It engages the cerebral cortex of the brain. It engages both hemispheres of the brain. It's the greatest therapy in the world. That's why therapy is so powerful, because you get to bring clarity to your thoughts. The brain needs clarity. If it doesn't have clarity, I guarantee you're in some type of reaction mode, some type of animal brain mode, which is not a good thing. So journaling is very powerful. And there's no script. There's no time limit. It could be one sentence. It's not for anybody else to read. So a lot of people, I don't want people to read. Nobody's going to read. Nobody's ever read my journal. Nobody probably care less about reading my journal. So that's another thing. Big one is sleeping. So I've been incredibly busy lately, and there's been nights where I'm getting to sleep real late and I'm up at the crack of dawn. For example, yesterday, I had a full day. Started on my morning routine about 6 a.m. I got home last night at 10:30. All the way through. First, you need to realize you can't keep up that type of schedule forever. It's kind of a separate issue. But sleep. When you are doing that too often, you're going to be fatigued. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. It's going to really cloud your judgment and your thought process. When you feel like you're really getting backed into that corner, you need to make sure that you get a good night's sleep. You wake up all of a sudden after a good night's sleep, all the problems you had in your head are gone. They're not so bad. It wasn't that big a deal. So sleep is a key thing. If you don't address that, this can compound. Now imagine if you get 7 to 8 hours sleep every night. You're going to be much, much clearer up here. You're going to have a much more optimistic and positive mind. Sleep is a big one. Play. Think of the word recreation, recreate. Every time you play, you're literally recreating your spirit and your person. Recreation, recreating. Play is so good for your brain. I have books on this about the concept of play, not only for children but for adults. That could be going out and having a catch. I love having a catch. One of my favorite things in the world to do is just get out there and throw. It could be that. For me, a lot of times, it's going to jiu-jitsu. I go in, I get in there twice a week. To me, that's play. I'm rolling around, getting to use my body in different ways. But whatever thoughts I have as I'm going in there, my mind is clear afterwards. It's like meditative. Some type of play. Right, which could also be your fitness, but I'm talking about play sometimes where you have to strategize and you got to do different things. So they're both good. Your regular workout routine, which kind of fits in with the last thing I'm going to go over, but play is a super, super powerful tool. And it gives you times, if you have kids, to make sure that you're planning out that play. It could be with your spouse. It could be in a sports league with somebody, but play is excellent for us. Last one. Actually, you can break it into two if you want. Walking. Walking is the only form of exercise that lowers our stress hormones. Walking brings clarity to the situation. Movement uses a motor center in the brain called the parietal lobe. Now that is also the same part of your brain where emotions arise out of. So if I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed and all this type of stuff, well, when I walk, I use that same center of the brain, the parietal lobe, where those emotions are coming, and I can rob them and steal the energy from those thoughts because I'm walking. And I've used this with many people in mind mapping. A lot of times now, with mind map sessions, I'll do them on a walk with people. I'm utilizing that tool because I know I can keep their mind more clear on what we're trying to achieve and what I'm trying to help them get clear on. And then backwards walking. I think maybe you don't know, so I'll tell you again. Backwards walking, right? In China, they say if you could backwards walk, you're an intelligent being. Walking is backwards walking works your brain differently. You get to go backwards. It kind of unwinds everything. It's very meditative. Now you should do that about once a week still. I would like to get back to doing that more. There's a lot of things I want to start doing more. Actually, the next 30-day challenge I do is probably going to be like 30 minutes a day of backwards walking. So I have to fit that in. But almost 2 years ago, I was backwards walking over in the Shannick Station over here. Yellow glasses on. It was dusk. Going up and down the street. Some lady, what are you doing? I'm walking. Why are you going backwards? It's good for my brain. Didn't give it much more thought. I came back to my truck after about another half hour. What happens? The police show up. And he gets out. And I didn't know who he was. Maybe he knew me. I'm not sure. And he kind of chuckled. He said, "Sir, you okay?" I go, "Yeah. Why would I not be okay?" So we've been getting calls that you're walking up and down the street backwards. Keep in mind, it was probably a funny scene for this guy because I did have my yellow shooting glasses on. You get the beard, you get all so. But I got a chuckle out of that. I think that's the only time I've had the police call on me for backwards walking, which is weird that I have to think about that. There might be one other time. I don't think there was, but maybe it was another incident. There was something with backwards walking, something else that was pretty funny one time. But nonetheless, backwards walking. So those are 5 mindset tips. I'm coming up on the 10-minute mark. And it's starting to rain. I got to plan my workout out with my boy Mikey. Still got to do a lot of stuff here coming up for the trip. So Was able to sneak this in before Devin got home. You guys have a great time. Maybe I'll post some stuff from Italy. Maybe I won't. I'm not really sure what the deal's going to be, where my mindset is going to be at. I'm going to chill out, unplug, because I know when I come back, hit it hard again for 30 days as far as improving life. All right, guys. Thanks for all the support. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to spread the word with somebody that can use this message. You guys have a great day. Later.